Good morning. This is Seek of the Scut coming to you live with Ace Attorney. Well, here we are. Guys, this chapter is taking too long to do. This should have been 2 stream stops, but I keep being busy. In fact, I'm busy today as well. I haven't even changed out of the clothes I was wearing today. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna finish this chapter, and then that's it, right? We're gonna get through it. I don't care if there's 10 minutes left. I don't care if there's 2 hours left, which I highly doubt. We're just gonna do it, right? Because I do have places to be, but I really want to be here. Okay? Sound good? Minimal talking beforehand? Let's get into it, shall we? Oh, what were we even doing? I think last time we just finished our deduction with my good friend Herlock. And now, oh, what were we even doing? I don't quite recall. You couldn't tell anyone. Oh, right. So we were assuming that, we assumed that the snake was her pet. The snake probably is just on the boat, potentially intentionally, to get the rats. And also, what else? My mic is different. What? Really? I mean, it's not a different mic. Hold on. Did I bump something? I might have bumped something. No, they should all be the same. Oh, actually, no. My mic is in a different spot than usual. Let me move that. Oh, I see. I did bump something. My mic was facing backwards. Yeah, that'll do it. How did that even happen? Oh, it's because I had to take my whole setup apart last week in order to move some stuff around, and I unscrewed my mic from my stand, and I didn't tighten it all the way, so I must have bumped into it at some point, and it just spun around. Let's see, can I tighten it more than this? No, I can't? Okay. There we go. Now, into it for real, shall we? Why don't you tell us now, Miss Pavlova? Oh, by the way, I have no idea what's going on, as per usual. Tell us exactly what happened last night. Oh, the truth. It was a little after 1 in the morning. It was so late, but I hadn't had time to feed Darka, so I gave her some food. And then, all of a sudden, she scratched me and jumped out of my hands. People do say that cats become very anxious and nervous in new environments. She was so fast. She disappeared through the ventilator before I could stop her. And that is how you acquired the rather nasty wound on the back of your hand, I take it. And I had read the, rules on the wall. I knew that I was not allowed Darka with me. Yes, modern science suggests that animals can carry infectious diseases. It's a precaution, really. So I listened and listened, trying to hear if there was some noise in the next cabin. It's very tame. I recall, actually, a little bit of a tangent, some time ago, my family decided to try and get a cat again. Now, we had not had cats since I was a child, because when we did try to get a cat again, after it passed away, it turns out I had developed an allergy. Now, of course, I'm an adult now, so we figured that I had probably grown out of it, and I did. But it turns out my youngest sibling did not. Well, actually, my youngest sibling had never been around a cat before, but they were horribly allergic, almost had to go to the emergency room. And in the process of being around the cat, as soon as I walked in the door, huge scratch all the way across the underside of my forearm. So yeah, very mild wound, definitely. It was very quiet. I was sure if someone was there, he must be sleeping. So at that point, you thought it safe to try and lure the kitten back again? By dangling the end of the toy through the ventilator and into the adjoining cabin. Darka always loves this toy, but it didn't work. Nothing worked. I tried using her favorite toy, I tried whistling to her softly, but nothing. She didn't return. So the faint whistling sound Cosmo wrote about in his diary was Miss Pavlova trying to retrieve her pet. Cats have a propensity to remain hidden in the shadows when frightened. Yes, so there was nothing else I could do. I just had to wait until she had calmed down. Oh, right, I forgot. I haven't actually been managing the ads recently. I've just been sort of letting them roll out. And to be fair, I usually do that anyways. But I should remember that if I have anything, like any big moment coming up, I should run those so that those don't hit you guys. Because I think I have it set to go off every hour, which also means that it's up to 3 minutes. But also, the benefit is that no one coming in gets an ad. So, because I hate that. It's miserable. Like, it's the worst thing ever when you go into something and you immediately get hit with an ad. Like, I can't stand that. And you have to have really long regular ads in order to get rid of that. But then... Oh. I nearly passed out with shock. I heard her cry out and then... Oh, it was such a dreadful bang. Then afterwards, nothing. It was totally silent. Cosimo was... From the appearance of the brown mark on the floor, it seems likely that what you heard was the victim stepping on the glass bell and tripping up. The SS Burya is a large vessel, but even she can pitch and roll violently without warning. If Mr. Asogi was already off balance as a result of the ship lurching when the kitten got under his feet, the combination of unfortunate factors could easily have caused him to fall over. But what became of the kitten afterwards? In the end, I managed to get her to come back through the ventilator. Yet Darka is nowhere to be seen. I must have forgotten to lock my case, and now she's disappeared again. Gracious, that cat is as insufferably restless as I am. Well, he knows something about himself, at least. When I woke this morning, I heard that a young man in the cabin next to mine had died, but I couldn't bring myself to tell anyone what had happened. I was too scared. Oh, I just noticed the end of her hair is in the shape of a hook. I wonder what that is. Oh yeah, you definitely don't need the combination, because this is definitely someone setting this up, I feel like. There's definitely still malicious intent behind this. I just can't put my finger on why I still think that. Well, I mean, I know from a meta perspective that there has to be a malicious attempt. It's an Ace Attorney game. And it's a new game. They could switch it up a bit, but I don't quite think they're going to be doing that. But with that said, what is it? There's a piece of evidence. I'm trying to think of them all. I have a record. I should look at that. Yeah, the wardrobe. The wardrobe message is the thing that's still bugging me. I was too scared. Scared that they would send me back. Oh, hold on a minute. What about the snake? You're right. Where is it? If the snake isn't your friend, Miss Pavlova, then whose is it? And where did it come from? What on earth is such a dangerous creature doing on board the ship? Oh, I didn't say. Snake is my friend. His name is Proshko. What? What? That snake belongs to you? He escaped from cage when emergency alarm sounded. I was looking for him. I did not expect to find him in here. Yes, but how did that snake get into this cabin? But animals are not permitted on board. Ha! We are at sea for 1 year. You want to be so long without a close friend, without someone who understands? Oh, hey Noir. Hi, welcome in. Couldn't you find someone a little more human who understands you better? But my dear burly fellow, a gargantuan venomous snake. Surely you can appreciate the danger you're putting everyone in. Is it venomous? No, he didn't say that yet. Yeah, no venom. No venom. Proshko does not have venom. He is harmless, very long, but very gentle. He is adorable, like Granny. It's venomless? Yes. Now he is hungry, so he is in bad mood. But once I feed him, you will see big smile. And you feed him... Oh, and you feed him what? Milk, I suppose? Ha! Like they say, milk chickens? Ridiculous. Snakes that drink milk are only in stupid stories. Proshko eats mouses. Big fat round mouses. So... Is that what the mousetrap in the passageway out there is for? Of course. How else can I catch my friend's favorite food? Nothing says top of the food chain like the look in their eyes right now. You know, I'm starting to think that the sailor is innocent. I was thinking maybe he was the revolutionary in disguise, and that he had taken the uniform of another sailor, which is why his outfit is so, or his uniform is so small. But I think he might actually just be a sailor. It refuses to drink milk. It can't hear a whistle. It can't climb up a bell cord, and it's not even venomous. How the deuce did something so inept land a starring role? It's not my fault. I do not make up stories. My Proshko has nothing to do with this incident. So, that's what happened, huh? That's the truth behind my best friend's tragic death. I know. I mean, to be fair, everything except for, like, the length of it fits, and he can, hemming is the wrong word, hemming's making it shorter. That's the point, is that's something that could be fixed. The rest of it is proper size, maybe a little bit too small, but I don't know, maybe he gained muscle. Or maybe he just likes it like that, who knows. Anyway, no, I don't think that's the truth behind his death, because we still have what giant glaring weak point. Oh, not weak point, inconsistency. Why is it written? Oh, 15 stream streak. Good job, good job. Oh, I always forget, like, because you always use Pomu's emotes, and I always forget about those, because once again, I never ever even use. I mean, I think I've used them once. But yeah, it always makes me confused for a brief moment. I do like them though. Anyway, why is the dying message written in Russian? We need to know that, because I'm pretty sure Cosma did not. Well, he probably knew Russian, but he was definitely not choosing Russian as his. Oh, I mean, I guess you could make an argument for it, but no, there's no way this is the case, yeah? Come on, give us like an hour more of case, because there's more to go through. Miss Pavlova? I understand the difficult situation you've found yourself in, and I do sympathize, but please remember this. A young man lost his life. If you're going to attempt to cover up your guilt with lies, then no matter what the circumstances, I cannot forgive you. But what are you talking about, Miss Mikotoba? What lies? Miss Pavlova just confessed everything. No, you're forgetting pieces of evidence. It was just a series of unfortunate events, an accident. Oh my god, that's what it was. There it is. I just remembered. There's a second piece of evidence. The door locking. That would only happen if they came to a really fast stop, like earlier, which means that the emergency alarm would have been triggered. So Pavlova went over there, killed him, wrote the dying message, presumably to frame Ryunosuke, and then pull the emergency alarm in order to lock the door behind her? How did you even figure that out? That's kind of crazy. I don't think the cat's going to be causing an issue with the mechanisms of the ship of all things. Though it certainly will be causing issues somewhere. Unless someone with food found it first. I'm no great detective like Mr. Sholmes. I don't have a gift for knowing the truth. But even I can see that was not the truth. Don't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo? Naruhodo? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. That threw me off. She called him Mr. Naruhodo instead of Naruhodo-san. That's a bit odd. To be perfectly honest, yes. Oh wait, is it because they're speaking English right now? They are. They are speaking English right now. There's a discrepancy in Miss Pavlova's story. I'm sure of it. I just can't quite put my finger on it. Huh. I confess, I was intending to let Scotland Yard deal with any outstanding issues on this matter. Oh, that's why he said yard earlier, when he was singing My Way. I am only present here for a very specific reason. The truth is, you, Mr. Naruhodo-san, are simply a distraction. A distraction? What? I do hope you've not been finding your shackles too uncomfortable. Oh, and they're back. Not again. When did he do it? Especially as they're on your wrist as a result of my intervention. I was rather hoping I could resolve matters before we made our next port of call. You were, Mr. Sholmes? Yes, but I overlooked one important detail. Oh? The deceased young man was a very close companion of yours. Was he not? Yeah. Kazuma was my closest friend. I owed him for my freedom, even. In that case, we must follow this to its conclusion. Oh, okay, I was kind of worried there that he was going to... How to say? That they were going to, like, introduce a weird morally gray thing going on with him, and that would have been interesting, but I'm glad that they're going with the full justice route. What'd you say? They're not using the ability to speak other languages full potential? Oh yeah. I certainly feel that. Though I am kind of accustomed to it. One of my favorite games, Metal Gear Solid 3, almost the entire game, the characters are canonically speaking in Russian, but unlike some other media I've seen, they don't ever actually speak Russian. They just speak whatever language you set the game to, and then near the beginning of the game, one of the characters goes, "Oh, your Russian is superb. Where'd you learn it?" Which is... it's fine. It works. It gets a point across. But I do think they could have done it a bit better. One of my favorite examples of it, languages being used in media, is an anime called The Great Pretender, because they have a very short section right at the start of the series. First episode, the whole thing will be in the language that the characters are canonically speaking, which at the beginning is Japanese, then there's some English, there's some French thrown in. The point is, it sounds horrible, because one of the guys speaking, okay, there's two guys primarily speaking. One of them, very French. The other one, Japanese, but also every character says he has a really messed up accent. So it sort of feels weird. You're kind of confused. And then about midway through the episode, while they're arguing in a car or something, there's a freeze frame, and then a narrator directly addresses the audience. It goes, "Okay, you guys get the point. We're gonna have them speak in the language you chose now." And I really, really, really like that. Like I said, it's a small thing. Because from that point on, they do just speak whatever language you chose, with very few exceptions. But I like that they go out of their way to establish that these characters are polyglots, and they are using their skills all the time. No further distractions. You must uncover the real truth here, Mr. Naruhodo. Yeah, whatever that may be. Or, oh, actually, this is a rare case where saying yes instead of yeah is actually better. Yes, whatever that may be. Now, the key to this is the discrepancy in Miss Pavlova's story, I'm sure. If I can chase that down, maybe the truth will become clear. The truth about how you really died. How the scene in your cabin really came to be. Oh my god, I just realized he's a star on his back. Oh wow, they were really, really foreshadowing his death, huh? Probably should have... I definitely would have picked up on that if it wasn't for the fact that I was so convinced he was going to be evil. Alright, I'll see what I can do. Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Naruhodo. So then, shall we begin? Yes. What we should ponder first is the victim who lost his life in a cabin that was bolted shut from the inside. Was this truly an unfortunate accident? Or was it in fact no accident at all? That is what we must establish in the first instance. But we have already established it, haven't we? The man tripped over the kitten that had climbed into his cabin via the ventilator. Tragic, yes, but still an accident. Wait, let's just take a step back. It doesn't make sense if that's really what happened, does it? I'm going to have to ask you to spell it out for me, I'm afraid. Yes, it's starting to take shape now. There's a clear contradiction between the facts and Miss Pavlova's story here. The evidence is right there in Kazuma's cabin. It's undeniable. His death couldn't possibly have been a mere accident. Really? Let us show our hand, Mr. Naruhodo. Time to present the evidence. The evidence that proves unequivocally that the victim's death was no mere accident. Yeah, very fancy. Now how... Okay, here's a question now. How do they want me to go about this one in particular? The logbook could be considered something because it shows that someone was tampering with evidence. It could be... No, the postmortem report says that he broke his neck. So, yeah. It could be... Actually, I think the only things that we could use here are the logbook and the crime scene photo. Yeah?
Yes.
What? Oh, no, that's not it. Okay. Fair enough, fair enough. Also, I hate that he says yes. I know they want to use the voice lines because they recorded it. But, come on. Also, I know I'm skipping... Okay, well, so let's say, I know I'm skipping the looping dialogue, and it's really long, but I didn't realize how absurdly long it is. Wow, that is really long. Maybe I should read it next if I hit it again. The crime scene photo, though, right?
Yes.
The truth is clearly recorded in this photographic print. There's no way Mr. Asogi could have left this message on the floor. That script. It's Russian, isn't it? Indeed it is. The word written means wardrobe. I see what you mean. Most people wouldn't leave a dying message in their native... Most people would leave a dying message in their native language. Japanese in this case. But maybe he was studying Russian. It is a simple language. He could have picked it up very fast. That doesn't seem likely. That's actually not the point. It makes no difference whether he knew Russian or not. Sorry, what do you mean? Exactly what I said before. There's no way that Mr. Asogi could have left his message on the floor. And the reason why is clearly explained in here. Damage to the cervical vertebra resulting in instant death. Instant death. Oh, I had forgotten about that detail. That's actually really, really important. Which means, after the victim fell to the floor, he couldn't possibly have written anything, because he was already dead. That's not the only reason either. There's something else we found in Mr. Asogi's cabin. A remnant of something that couldn't possibly have been there, if what Miss Pavlova told us was true. What? So, Susato-san noticed it too, then, huh? Putting this message on the floor aside, there's something else that gives away the truth. Another piece of evidence that proves this was no accident. In other words, this is the bell, right? Because the piece of the bell was in this room. There we go, present. I don't know why I wasn't presenting. This piece of broken glass next to the mark on the floor. But that's the glass bell the kitten had around his neck. We already know all about that. It was broken in half when the victim tripped over the cat and fell. So we already have a satisfactory explanation. Where's the flaw in that logic? Unfortunately, there is a very big flaw. A fatal flaw, even. What? If that's really what happened, then how did one half of the bell end up back here in the cabin? Yes, remember that we found the other half of the glass bell in that wastepaper basket. Would you care to explain that, Miss Pavlova? Oh, no, both of these pieces of evidence clearly point to the same conclusion. That when Mr. Asogi died last night in his cabin, there was someone else in the room. And that same person deliberately arranged the scene to disguise the truth, in order to cover up his or her own guilt. Gah. Yes, there was someone else present in Mr. Asogi's... You are wasting time. Someone else was there? Da, of course, we know this. What are you talking about? Bulkhead was bolted shut from inside. There was no way in or out. Oh, yes. And the only other person in cabin was young student died. Well, when one young student died, was you.
Yes.
I think the bell around the cat is probably so she can find it if it goes missing. I think I think that's usually the reason why you put a bell on a cat, either that or to stifle its hunting ability, if for some reason you needed to do that. It's true, I was in the cabin when it happened. You were shut inside the cabin wardrobe, to be precise about the details. But I don't know Russian. There's no way I would have left that message. Not would have. There's no way you could have left that message, to be precise about the details. Would you mind? Oh, forgive me, my dear fellow. As I was saying, the person in question wrote the word wardrobe in Russian on the floor. In an attempt to incriminate me for the crime, even though I had been asleep in there the entire time. And then, the same person picked up the broken glass bell that had fallen to the floor. For fear of it becoming... Sorry, I had to clear my throat. For fear of it becoming evidence that would show how Mr. Sogi really died. But why wouldn't this person taken all the pieces of the bell away? Leaving half behind was always going to raise questions. Yes, well, it was past 1 o'clock in the early hours of the morning. The cabin would have been quite dark. The single, small lamp suspended from the ceiling would barely have cast any light onto the floor there. Little wonder, then, that the culprit failed to notice a fragment of the tiny item. You all suspect me, don't you? Oh, the snake is gone. Seaman Stroganov? Nina is woman of sea. She is daughter of strong sailor. 2 years ago, they noticed her dancing skills, and she went away to join ballet company. But before, she was dancer on this ship, a member of the ship's band. Oh, well, there's his motivation. I was wondering if he helped her with this, because it feels like he has to have helped her, unless she went behind his back, which is still a possibility. But yeah, it definitely seems like he's going to be in on it, though, because he has a background with her. You do not accuse Ship's Angel of being criminal. Ah, so that's it. You say that when the young student died, Nino was there in his cabin. But that is not possible. I give my tooth. Well, this is all most interesting. And why would you give your tooth, pray? How can you be so sure? You are a great detective, you should know. Look truth in eyes. Cabin bulkhead was bolted shut from inside. Nobody could go into cabin, not Neil, not anyone. Or you want to tell me that killer can walk through locked doors? Yet, it's impossible. He's right. But wait, I've read about this in detective stories. People often tie thread around door latches so they can open and close them from the outside. Thread? Are you stupid? These bulkheads are not barn doors. Certainly not. These are watertight doors, as one would expect to find on any modern ship. Constructed of heavy steel with not a gap in sight. No threads or needles or magnets could have been used. No, of course not. I thought so too. But Mr. Naruhodo suggested it earlier, so... Susato-san, how could you shift it onto me like that? So, Seaman Stroganov has a valid point. The cabin door couldn't have been bolted shut from the outside. Not necessarily. What? I put it to you that I could bolt this cabin door without laying a finger on it. And in this very cabin, we can see traces of the method I have in mind being used before. I don't believe it. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, I believe you know what I mean, don't you? A way to shut the bolt of the cabin door from the outside? One way does spring to mind, yes. Do you really know what Mr. Sholmes means, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, and so should you, because we've seen it happen. Indeed we have. So, would you care to do the honors, Mr. Naruhodo? Point out the telling signs of the method that was used to slide the cabin door bolt across from the outside. That would be the bookshelf that we've brought attention to many, many times.
Yes.
Now look at the bookcase here. See how all the books and things on it have toppled over? That must have happened when the ship made its emergency stop before. Yes, that's right. It's a very powerful vessel after all. When the engines are thrown into reverse, a violent jolt goes across the entire ship. Any small objects that aren't fastened down are bound to fall over. I believe... Yes, that's what's known as the force of inertia acting on the objects. Is there nothing that Susato-san doesn't know? Or that isn't in her book, at least? Well, whatever it's called, the same force that pushed over those books on the bookcase also made something else in the cabin move. The bolt on the cabin door. Ah! It was very obvious just after the emergency stop that the ship made earlier. We had come into this cabin not long before, and we hadn't bolted the door yet. But then... Hello? Is anybody in there? Shout if you need assistance. Oh, that sounds like... Inspector Hosonaga. Oh, yes! That's it! When the ship suddenly stopped, the bolt flew across and locked the door. Yes, it's made of metal, but it's small and light enough to be moved by the ship's sudden change in speed. Or force of inertia, if you want to call it that. Are you trying to say that last night, after Mr. Sogi was killed... Aye, that is precisely what we're saying. But I must say, this is a rather inconvenient thing for the ship, if every time they come to emergency stop, these doors lock. The SS Buria made another emergency stop? Well, rather, the first emergency stop. When I woke up this morning and looked around the cabin, I thought it looked a little odd. All the books on the shelf had toppled over, and all the ornaments. It was almost as if someone had run their hand across the shelves and deliberately knocked everything over. Oh, yes, I remember that. And I stood them all up again, didn't I? Then, when we came into this cabin, we were surprised to see the same thing in here. All the books and everything had toppled over, just like in Mr. Sogi's cabin. Oh my! Do you have anything to say about this, Miss Pavlova? Are you out of your mind? You say Buria made emergency stop. It does seem a little far-fetched. How could that possibly have happened? Unless you're saying that the culprit is actually someone from the engine room. Oh, it is simple enough. Elementary, even. Are you forgetting the button in the passageway outside? Used to trigger the emergency alarm? Oh, yes, of course. There was a notice, wasn't there? Telling you to only press the button in times of emergency. On dark nights when the fog is dense, the captain cannot afford to rely on the eyes of his lookout alone. Hence the placement of a number of buttons around the vessel to allow any crewman to raise the alarm. The sort of button one is almost compelled to press to satisfy one's curiosity. Wait, it was you? When the button is pressed, two things happen in interest of safety. The emergency alarm bell rings and the vessel comes to a complete stop. As indeed it did a little earlier today. Mr. Shelms, surely it wasn't you who... As I always say, a button has but one purpose in life. To be pressed, whatever the occasion. Oh, how true, how true. I love him. He sounds almost proud of himself. How dare you mess with ship? I report you to Captain. You are in much trouble now. Now, I'm sure all that can wait until later. Let us not overlook the fact that we have now learned a valuable lesson. When the vessel makes an emergency stop, the bolts on the cabin doors slide closed. So, what we must now consider... Yes, it all comes down to one thing now. Last night, after what happened to Mr. Asogi, did this ship make an emergency stop, or did it not? You are idiots. Buria is a huge ship with many passengers. If we make emergency stop even in the middle of night, there would be chaos everywhere. What are your thoughts, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, it's certainly a possible that some kind of emergency happened last night. We have evidence to support that idea. Really? What evidence, Mr. Naruhodo? Fascinating. Do show us, my good man. What evidence promotes the theory that some emergency gripped this vessel last night? Oh, I don't actually know this one off the top of my head. I don't think it's a ship's log, because there's no entries there. Can't be the post-mortem report. Nothing in the diary. Nothing there, nothing there. I think the only thing we could say is the ship's log. Is that saying there was no entry there?
Yes.
Seaman Stroganoff, it's your duty to patrol the first class area of the ship. Isn't that right? Da, that is correct. Why? And the ship's log here. This would be where you record the details of your duties. What are you doing with that? That is mine. Ah, you rather carelessly left it atop a little makeshift bureau in the passageway out there. But as responsible passengers, we took it into our care with a mind to return it to you later. I left it there on purpose. That is where I always put it. The point is, looking at what you usually record, it's clear that under normal circumstances, you write the phrase "nothing to report" every 30 minutes. But from 2 o'clock last night until first light this morning, nothing was recorded at all. Nothing was recorded in the log? That is... because nothing happened. But if nothing happened, you'd normally write "nothing to report," wouldn't you? Indeed so, which tells us that shortly after 2 a.m., something happened here aboard the SS Buria. Something sufficiently significant to make you forget to fill in the ship's log, in fact. Are you suggesting that the ship really did make an emergency stop in the middle of the night? Stop talking rubbish. If I'm perfectly honest, I find that a little hard to believe myself. Oh, why? Well, because if something as major as an emergency stop really had happened, surely all of us would have noticed. That's very true. Thanks to the emergency stop we experienced earlier, we all know what it feels like now. The ship lurched so violently, and the alarm bell was so loud. I can't imagine that anybody would sleep through that, even if it had happened in the dead of night. Well, no. That's a good point, actually. What of the throbbing? Sorry, what do you mean? Your head, man. The throbbing of your head since this morning. We have all suffered with it. Yes, I have had a headache, you're right. In fact, I haven't been feeling myself since I woke up today. Nor have I. My head has been feeling heavy ever since dawn. Yes, you've all been afflicted, haven't you? Just as I suspected. He's right, my head's been throbbing today too. And since eating dinner yesterday evening, everything felt sort of hazy. I can't really remember anything that happened after I climbed back inside the wardrobe. Then, the first thing I noticed this morning was a throbbing pain in my head. I had already been dragged out of the wardrobe, and I had had these handcuffs placed on me at some point. But why didn't I wake up when all that was happening to me? Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo, you boarded this vessel as a stowaway, didn't you? Well, yes. Sorry. The stowaway class of accommodation doesn't usually include meals. What did you survive on? Well, Kazuma looked after me. He was always happy to share his meals. So, you enjoyed some of the whole roast chicken dish that was served yesterday evening, I take it? Yeah, in fact, I had all of that. Kazuma wasn't fond of chicken. Oh, really? So the victim didn't eat any of the chicken at all? That's right, he didn't touch it. Is that relevant? My dear fellow, does that not strike you? Oh, Mr. Sholmes, do you mean to say that there was something wrong with the chicken? Oh, I thought they all hit their heads. And to be fair, I was slowly starting to think that that was wrong, because that would be quite the coincidence for everyone to have hit their heads. But was there food poisoning? I do. No, really? Is that really true? The meal prepared for the passengers last night had been tampered with. Tampered with by the addition of a sporific designed to induce a very deep slumber in those who consumed it. Oh, okay, I thought it was food poisoning. It's just been poisoned. A sleeping drug? Do you mean whoever did this laced every meal with a sleeping drug so no one would notice the ship's emergency stop? Mr. Naruhodo, of course that's not what Mr. Sholmes means. What a far-fetched idea. Precisely. Lacing every meal of every passenger on board with a sporific drug would certainly be impossible. Unless, that is, every single member of the crew was a conspirator. What? Mr. Sholmes? Well, Seaman? I'm sorry to say that any more deception in this matter will get you nowhere. Did they all get in on this to protect the girl? But then why would they even need to protect her? Why is she trying to commit the murder? If you refuse to talk, there would have to be an inquiry made through the shipping company, of course. And were that to happen, every member of the crew and the captain himself would be hauled over the coals for aiding and abetting a renegade. Huh? Please, no more. I will tell everything. I cannot make a problem like this for everyone anymore. These crewmen are your former comrades, I believe. Yes, so when I decided to run away, I asked them to help me. We all agreed to help. Everyone together. She threw away everything. Her fame in the ballet. Mother Russia. We wanted to help our angel. I don't believe it. You are right. We put sleeping drug in chicken last night. Yes, I remember now. I did notice chewing on a lump of something strange and bitter at one point. We could not make all drug. How do you say? Dissolve? Talk about heavy seasoning. At midnight in waters near Shanghai, we brought our angel on board. She was helped by a comrade on shore with a small fishing boat. While all the passengers of the SS Buria slept soundly, thanks to the almost magical effects of the slumber-inducing potion their evening meals had contained. So, if that's what happened, the only people awake on the ship last night were the crew, people who disliked chicken, and the newly boarded passenger, Miss Pavlova. And that means it would have been possible for you. You could have used the emergency stop trick to lock Kazuma's cabin door. But how does that make sense? Surely every cabin door would have ended up locked in that case, and there would have been a complete chaos. Oh, I wouldn't say so. What? Of course. Just like us, all the other passengers would have eaten their evening meal of chicken in their cabins, after which they would have been overwhelmed by tiredness because of the sleeping drug. Quite. And accordingly, all passengers were already in their cabin for the night. Yes. The overwhelming majority of passengers would habitually sleep with their cabin doors bolted anyway, and so not one of them would have found it remarkable to find the door locked in the morning. In summary, in order to fasten the bolt of a single cabin door on the ship, the culprit brought the entire vessel to an emergency stop in the early hours of the morning. Oh wait, hold on, so this really is just a design flaw in the ship? Every single door shuts if they come to an emergency, like every single door locks if they come to an emergency stop? That sucks. They have to get something to fix that. I don't know, like just stick something rough on every bolt, I guess, to make it slide less. Or yeah, just sand every bolt a little bit to put grooves in it. You have talked a long time and said many things. What is the point? The point is what I said earlier. There was somebody else present on the scene when the victim lost his life last night. Someone who left a message in Russian on the floor in an attempt to incriminate another. Someone who tried desperately to hide their broken fragments of glass that would reveal the culprit's identity. And someone who abused the ship's emergency stop procedure to lock a door. All told, a busy night. But... I don't know about any of this. I am just a little girl. You like to speak with long English words and explain your clever ideas. But I am sailor, and sailors don't listen to long, boring stories. We don't believe. Sailors like me, we trust only what we see with our eyes. A laudable trait. What? I am quite of the same disposition, my good man. Observation to me is everything. Mr. Naruhodo, Oh, yes? Do you hear it? That accusatory cry of guilt on the wind? What accusatory cry of guilt? Sorry, you've lost me. Proof of involvement, man. But you can't hear such a call with your ears. No. You must hear it with your eyes, for observation is the basis of all deduction. What are you talking about? I believe the time has come. For one final logic and reasoning spectacular to expose the truth. Oh, one more. We got 3 of them in one chapter, dang. So, Mr. Naruhodo, your assistance, if you please. With what exactly, Mr. Sholmes? With observation, my dear fellow. Just as I said, of these 2 prevaricators. Observation? If you remember, Mr. Naruhodo, we know that somebody tried to fabricate evidence, don't we? By tampering with the scene of Mr. Sogi's death. What we're looking for is some trace of evidence that one of these 2 were there when it happened. Precisely. You're delightfully quick to grasp my meaning. Alright, I'll see what I can see. So we're looking for a trace of evidence that shows someone else was there last night when Kazuma died. We can check their hands. And their feet, maybe? Oh, or, yeah, that also works. On the lower back. Oh, look at this! Some kind of stain in an unusual place. Yes, you're right. It looks like ink, if I'm not mistaken. Ink. And look at that color, too. It's clear that this is where it came from.
Yes.
Seaman Stroganoff, you seem to have quite a large purple stain on the back of your white uniform there. Eh? Ah, yes. I don't know where the dirt comes from. So, nothing in particular comes to mind about the stain? What are you trying to say? It would appear that the significance of this stain has escaped your attention, Seaman. Allow us to make it plain. It's a very large purple stain on the back of Seaman Stroganoff's uniform, and I think what made it is clear. Indeed it is. So, Mr. Naruhodo, present the evidence that proves it. My pleasure. Alright, the evidence that proves what the stain on the back of Seaman Stroganoff's uniform really is... that would be... Do I have... I don't have it, actually. Like the ink stain. Oh, I guess this works, right?
Yes.
Yes, it's his photograph, and the ink it shows. That's what caused the stain on your uniform. Ink. A rather unusual color of ink. Purple. Yeah. The penny drops, at last. Now you see the significance. The Russian word on the floor next to the victim's body was written in purple ink. The Russian word on the floor was written in purple ink. And the stain on the back of your uniform is ink of exactly the same color. If the ink had been dry, it couldn't possibly have stained your uniform that way. Which means... you must have been present in the cabin at the moment immediately after the ink was spilt. Alright, yes. It was me. I did it. Everything. I arranged everything in their student's cabin to make it look like the wardrobe man did it. Then I pressed button to make Buria do emergency stop and bolt cabin door shut. I did everything so no one would suspect our angel. Biff, please. Don't worry, Angel. Let me do talking. It was after 1 in the morning. I was on duty patrolling passageway. Then our angel came to me. She was white like sheet. Biff, please, you must help me. I'm starting to slip into a different accent. I went with her. To the door. The door through cabin number 1 was open. When I looked inside, I saw student dead on ground. That is what it said. What happened here? Please, don't tell anyone. My little one, my little furry friend. Everything that happened in cabin is like Angel told you. The kitten escaped the ventilator into Mr. Asogi's cabin. Then he tripped over it and broke his neck when he fell to the floor? Yes, that is right. So, after the incident when the cat ran away, Miss Pavlova then visited the cabin next to hers, only to find his occupant lying lifeless on the floor. She said she was worried when she heard a sound of something falling on the ground. That's when she went to look. No, Angel? No, that's still not right. We haven't even addressed her missing earring yet. Oh god, is there a lot more to this chapter than I thought there was? The door was not locked, so she opened to look and... You already know what happened afterward. There's just one thing, if you wouldn't mind. What? When you went to Mr. Asogi's cabin, Miss Pavlova, was he already dead? Why? I already told you. When Nina opened the door of student's cabin and looked inside, I was asking Miss Pavlova. Well, Miss Pavlova? Yeah. Oh. Yes, that is right. I saw him. It was dark and he was wearing black, but he was on the floor, not moving. I was scared. I understand, and I believe you. So, is that finally it now? Have we discovered the real truth about Cosmo's death at last? Ah, something very nearly slipped my mind. Uh-oh, Mr. Sholmes? This photograph. Yes, I took this myself, you know. The cause of death was a broken neck. Therefore, the victim died instantly. And the unfortunate incident that precipitated these events, a kitten on which the victim stumbled. However, if those are the facts, there is one particular area in this photograph that seems to me like somewhat unnatural. What do you mean, unnatural? What are your thoughts on the matter, Mr. Naruhodo? Well... If Cosmo tripped and fell, by some terrible stroke of bad luck broke his neck, which part of this photographic print seems unnatural? I don't know. I genuinely have no clue here. Okay, well, we know it's not the writing, because we're saying that the Stroganoff came in here and adjusted the writing in the hand. Is the issue that there's no bleeding from the head? Maybe.
Yes.
It must be here, surely. No, that's not it. What is wrong? I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, well, he gave me a pretty clear hint there. So is the issue that his hand is closed?
Yes.
Oh, alright. If he really did fall due to an unfortunate accident, then this fist just doesn't seem quite right. Okay, it is the fist. Okay, No, I don't want me to point it out again. It's the fists. Yeah, I didn't even notice that. That is unnatural. Well, it's been a while since they've needed me to identify something subtle like that. I mean, I guess it's because the investigations games were very, very straightforward. But yeah, last time we needed something subtle like that was probably whenever we were supposed to put together that the guy in Spirit of Justice had face blindness. If I had to... Yeah, that was probably it. The exact same thought occurred to me. In a fall, one's instinct is to open the palms flat. Yet here we see the victim with his left hand tightly balled into a fist. Almost, you might say. Oh, is he holding something? As though he were gripping something. He is holding something. Oh my god. Oh yeah, latency hit you? Yeah, sorry about that. What do you mean? Simply that I took the liberty of investigating the victim's fist a short while ago. You did? And what, pray, do you imagine I found there, my dear fellow? Mr. Sholmes, show us, please. Why, of course, my dear madam. Why would I keep you in suspense? It is the earring. I was waiting for that to show up. This is what I found. Oh, a crescent moon with a little gemstone in the middle? Yes, you're right. A crescent moon. It's very pretty, but what does it tell us? It tells us nothing. Oh, that was the wrong voice. I'm not so sure. The crescent moon looks... It looks familiar somehow. I'm sure I've seen it somewhere before. Observation, Mr. Naruhodo. That is the key. What? The truth is now tantalizingly close. How did that crescent moon come to be in Kazuma's clenched fist? This is the final clue. The last piece of the puzzle. Ask yourself, what does this little crescent moon mean? What significance has it? And observe. Find the answer with your own eyes. I know exactly what this is. There it is. She has such petite ears. Oh, wait, this is the same dialogue as earlier. Okay. They're reusing this. We can skip through it then. Present. Miss Pavlova, on your ear there. I see you have a crescent moon as well. Ah! What? And on your other ear, there seems to be a crescent moon missing. The little link holding it must have broken, I suppose. Now, the missing crescent moon was found in the victim's clenched fists. Clearly, there's only one logical conclusion. Wouldn't you agree, Miss Naruhodo? Yes. Miss Pavlova, Mr. Sogi must have grasped the crescent moon and pulled it from your ear, perhaps just moments before he fell to the floor. In other words, last night, in Mr. Sogi's cabin, you witnessed the moment the victim fell with your own eyes. In fact, you were quite literally at arm's length from him. But then the question is, why did Mr. Sogi do that? Why did he pull your earring from your ear and hold it clenched in his fist during his final moments? Oh, no. Angel. No one can protect you now. Please, Miss Pavlova, tell us the truth. Last night, what did you do to Kazuma? Yeah. As always, not screaming, just always gotta remind you guys of that. When I think about what happened yesterday, it was too much. Running away, the fishing boat in the middle of the night, trying to climb onto this huge ship. And then, when I was at last in this cabin and I could relax after this horrible, long day. Daruka, wait! I couldn't believe when she disappeared through the ventilator. I tried to call her with a little whistle. I tried waving her favorite toy. But nothing worked. Daruka would not come back. What are you doing here this time of... what are you doing here this time of night, Inspector? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was a friend of mine. Wait, he was waiting for the inspector, why? The young man from your country. He was very polite and kind. He helped me to find Daruka and he promised not to tell anyone. But then, when I had my friends in my arms again and I was going to leave the man's cabin... just a moment. Sorry, but... Oh, yes? I'm sure I know your face. I've seen you somewhere before. Of course. You're Nikolina Pavlova, aren't you? The Russian ballerina. Uh-huh. No, I don't know that name. My heart nearly stopped when he said that. He knew who I was. How could this man from a land far away east know a Russian ballerina? Yes, I saw your performance in Japan. The beauty of the ballet made a deep impression on me. But what are you doing in this ship? I'm sure I read that your ballet company was performing in Shanghai at the moment. I can't fool him. I have to tell him the truth and hope he doesn't tell anyone. I have no other choice. I see. So you've run away. Please keep my secret. Don't tell anyone. Give me a moment. I could use another opinion here. He's going to pull that cord. He's going to tell the captain. Why did I think I could trust him? Then it happened. Everything at once. It was only a second, but it felt like forever. Oh, wait. Isn't the captain in on it, though? Wait, I shouted, and then Darka jumped out of my arms and down to the young man's feet. And as he turned around to look at me. Oh, it was an accident. That's what happened. Oh, it was an accident. I pushed him. I don't even know why. I don't know why I did it. I was just so scared. And I had to stop him from telling anyone about me. And that's when you went to fetch help? From Seaman Stroganov, who was on duty in the passageway. I heard Nina cry out, and thud on the floor, so I ran to her. She was standing at cabin door, shaking like a leaf. She looked at me and said, "Help me, Biff. Help me, Biff. If they find out, I will be... Please, I have nowhere to go." So, you decided to help. And that's when you arranged things in Cosmo's cabin to make it look like I did it. So that no one would suspect a passenger in the cabin next door? Well, yes. I went to the cabin and looked around. To make sure there was nothing to show Nina was there. And then I found Stowaway. In wardrobe. Still sleeping. Right. That's when he found me. So you worked out a plan to lay the blame on the Stowaway. I closed wardrobe doors and I put back strange paper sign. Luckily for me, that's the only reason Susato-san started to believe me when I said I was innocent. I dragged young man's body to a good place and used ink that was spilling to write on the floor. I wrote wardrobe so that the person who found him would look inside wardrobe and find Stowaway. And tell me, what did the glass bell? It was by my feet, so I picked it up. I see. But it was dark in the cabin. I didn't notice the other half. Then Angel went back to her cabin, and I finished job. By pressing the emergency alarm button in the passageway. Yes. Accordingly, Mrs. Buria did indeed come to an emergency halt at a little after 2 a.m., thus inciting the bolt on the cabin door to slide shut, creating the locked room mystery. And there's still one more thing I don't understand, Miss Pavlova. What? Well, you said that you told Kazuma about the fact that you'd run away from your homeland, and it's because you were worried that he was going to tell you, the captain, that you pushed him. Isn't that right? Duh. But even if he had pulled the bell cord and called for the captain of the ship, aren't you friends with every member of the crew? Why would that have been a problem? It was when he said it first. That made me scared. What he said first? What are you doing here this time of night, Inspector? Oh. I'm sorry. I thought it was a friend of mine. He said an inspector was his friend. Oh, yes, meaning me, who was supposed to be acting as his bodyguard. I thought that if police knew about me, they would arrest me. So, before he could pull the bell cord, May I stop you a moment, please, Miss Pavlova? It just doesn't seem to make sense. I mean, was Mr. Sogi really going to pull the bell cord? I don't know. What? What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, I'm not Kazuma, so I can't know for certain, but he was a man of his word. If he told you he wouldn't give your secret away, then he wouldn't have done so. No, he was walking over to it. He was going to pull the cord. He was going to make them send me back. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, the day's work is not done yet, it seems. There is one more deduction to make. What's another deduction? Yes. What action was the victim really about to take at that moment? Yeah, he was trying to open the wardrobe, yeah? Can we determine whether the young man's gaze was whither the young man's gaze was directed? Whither? Oh, that's a strange word. First, consider the victim's location within his cabin. That's easy. I remember every detail of that room. I mean, yes, I spent quite a long time in that wardrobe, but still. That cabin has been my home for this entire voyage. So this is how the cabin looked last night, when Miss Pavlova visited Kazuma-sama? Yes, that's exactly how it was. Are you ready then, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes. If there's one thing I learned today, is that a simple gaze can reveal all manner of truths. Not only that, in order to draw the right conclusion, you can't afford to be out by even a little bit by when you're following the gaze to where it lands. So, when he turned away from Miss Pavlova, what exactly was Kazuma looking at? The wardrobe. My wardrobe. I was in there at the time, of course, sleeping soundly. Too soundly. If only I hadn't eaten the chicken that was laced with a sleeping drug. If only he'd woken me up. Then maybe this tragedy never would have happened.
Take that!
Considering everything that happened last night, certainly it may have looked as though Kazuma was going to ring the bell cord. Yes, however, what is directly beside the bell cord? The wardrobe. The wardrobe? And, more importantly, what was inside the wardrobe? The man's great friend, sleeping soundly. Yeah! Miss Pavlova, please, think back very carefully. What were Mr. Sogi's exact words that last night? Give me a moment. I could use another opinion here. Another opinion? Yes, but not from a member of the crew. No, Mr. Sogi intended to consult with his close friend on the matter. To see if, between them, they might be able to help in some way, no doubt. Oh no. Sadly, we can't know the truth for certain now. It's too late for that. But I wish you had made sure of what Mr. Sogi was looking at. Things may have ended very differently if you had. Miss Pavlova, I want to thank you for finally admitting the truth. But, unfortunately, the truth is, a man lost his life because of what you did. And that will never change. I hope you'll never forget that. How interesting. You know, I think she has a good case for manslaughter here, which is really, really interesting. Because we've never, ever had that before. Now, there has been an accidental death before, but not one, accidental deaths plural. But never an accidental death that has been the main focus of a chapter. Usually it just happens in the backstory of, like, one of the characters. I'm sorry. Oh, really, I'm so sorry. What have I done? And so, at long last, the mystery surrounding the tragic accident on the SS Burya was finally laid to rest. Oh, he's healed up. Oh, how nice. What will happen to Miss Pavlova now, then? Once we reach Great Britain, she'll be handed over to the British police at the Scotland Yard. What about the fact that she ran away from Russia? Won't the Russians try to repatriate her? Apparently, the English detective can speak to the immigration officer and sort all that out. Mr. Sholmes can do that? So she won't be going back to Russia, then? No, I don't think so. Even if she wanted to return in the future, I doubt she would be able to. She ran away, so now she's in exile for life. I see. I'm sorry. Seaman Stroganoff? I wanted to help our angel, no matter what. Oh, also, I just realized he has the stripes on his face from the snake. I just realized that. But I didn't think about you. About how you got lost a good friend. I will go with Nina. I will give myself to British police. That's kind of you. In the meantime, thank you for letting me go free again. Kazuma's death feels like such a waste, but... Well, do what you can for Miss Pavlova, won't you? Da. Well, I'm afraid you need to pack now. We're due to arrive in Hong Kong tomorrow. As much as it pains me, I'm going to have to hand you over to the consul to arrange your passage back to Japan. Yes. I did stow away after all. I couldn't really expect any different. Oh, is Holmes going to come in and stop this? Oh, please, please, please. Please, Holmes, take me to Great Britain. So, you should get back to your cabin now. Really? He's not going to jump in? It looks like my study tour to Great Britain is over before it even begun, then. To think that only days ago, Kazuma and I were laughing together about how we tear up the streets of London. That seems like a distant memory now. Oh, what's that? Is it someone weeping? Susato-san? Naruhodo-san, I didn't know you had returned. Oh, well, I haven't been back long. Inspector Hosonaga just told me I should pack. You know, ready to leave the ship tomorrow and all that. I still can't believe this happened. I can't believe someone's life can be over just like that. Susato-san. He had such a grand ideas for the visit to Great Britain. So many dreams. And now they've been cruelly taken away. Just as he has. I thought I could never forgive the person responsible, but now we know the truth. That it was just an accident. Just a silly series of mishaps. It's too much, Naruhodo-san. It's just too much. Yes, I know. I wish there was something I could say. Oh, wrong character. Inspector. My duty was to see Asogi-san safely to Great Britain. But I failed. And caused his two closest friends great pain and suffering as a result. I've let everyone down. And I will do anything to make up for my terrible blunder. Nobody blames you, Inspector. And I'm free again now, at least... Huh? Oh, Holmes is here! Surprised, Mr. Naruhodo? What? What is the meaning of this? Oh, a trifling matter. Simply that in my head, I think I shall always picture you wearing those shackles. Without them, the balance seems all wrong. It's distracting. Sorry? So I decided to restore them. For old time's sake, shall we say? You are a stowaway after all. He thinks this is funny? I was wondering why they went out of their way to animate a whole thing of putting the shackles on and off. Or having the shackles and not having them. I guess it's going to be a running gag then. Mr. Sholmes? We do appreciate all your assistance. I'd like to thank you, from the bottom of my heart. Not at all, not at all. And though it's a little late, may I offer my sincere condolences? The loss of your companion is truly heartrending. I hope that you will be able to fulfill some of his aspirations in his honor. I'm afraid that won't be possible. We shall be disembarking at the next port, in Hong Kong. We have to return to Japan and make a full report of everything that's happened. What? Wait a minute. It's just me that has to go back, isn't it? I mean, I was a stowaway. The terms of this study tour were negotiated by the Department of Justice in both Great Britain and Japan. It was to be one lawyer and one assistant. It was to be. In the light of Mr. Asogi's unfortunate death, I'm afraid the study tour can no longer go ahead. Oh no. I don't care for me, but... Poor Susato-san. My dear fellows, the majority of problems have an extremely simple solution, you know. All you require is one lawyer, and the study tour can continue, surely. Huh? But there is no one else here with the necessary qualifications, Mr. Shelms. We know of no other lawyer. Qualifications, you say? Any qualifications obtained in your own country will be of little value in Great Britain, I'm afraid. Oh, but anyway, the voyage to London still promises a good month of time. Ample opportunity, I would say, to find yourselves a suitable lawyer. Yes. Mr. Sato? Yes? Do you think perhaps I might be able to do it? Ah! But you're not a lawyer, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, unless... Are you studying law? No, I'm not, but... I'm sorry, but in that case, I don't think there's even a chance it could work. But as I said, there was still more than a month before we reach England's shores. Isn't that right, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, I have a month in which to study, to learn what I must to become a lawyer in Great Britain. Mr. Naruhodo, that's ridiculous. Are you seriously suggesting that anybody could learn all of that in just 40 days? There's only one way to find out. I would work my fingers to the bone, Inspector, every single day. Will you let me try? And if, by the time we reach Great Britain, I haven't learned enough to be recognized as a lawyer, I'll take whatever punishment is deemed appropriate. But why put yourself in such a difficult position? For Kazuma, he said that there was something he had to do in Great Britain, and that he would sacrifice anything to make it happen. He was passionate about it. I can't just let all that passion come to nothing. And anyway, it's for my own benefit, too. I will become a lawyer. I have to. What do you say, Mr. Sato? She's smiling at us. Oh, it's amazing. I think it's a wonderful idea. Thank you. So, what does our bespectacled inspector friend say? Are you serious? One lawyer and one assistant. The numbers are indisputable. No, it's madness. Yet fascinating, wouldn't you agree? Fascinating. Duty and rules are the dull routine of existence that we all abhor. Give us interest, give us fascination. Speak for yourself. Besides, qualifications are no measure of a man. What matters is his character, no? And you've witnessed ample evidence of this man's exemplary character today with your own eyes, from the early hours of this morning until the very moment now. Despite contending with the passing of his close companion, and despite the accusation of guilt, this man has shown resourcefulness, intelligence, and above all, courage. Very well. I'll think of a clever way to word my report to the Department of Justice. Inspector, after all, I did just make a promise, didn't I? I said that I'd do anything to make up for my shortcomings here. Oh, thank you, Inspector. If you'll excuse me, I must pay a visit to the captain's quarters, I think. I need to discuss what to do next and how best to make my report. Are you really prepared to attempt this, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, I'm going to try. I wonder, would you consider teaching me what I need to know? Everything about being a lawyer? I would be delighted to help you. I am a judicial assistant, after all. Thank you. And, Mr. Naruhodo, I'd like you to take charge of this. What? Me? Are you sure? I'm sure it's what Kazuma-sama would have wanted. Its name is Karuma. It's a great sword that has been in the Asogi clan for generations. Very well. I accept. I'll treasure it always. So then, Mr. Sato, it seems we'll be working together for some time yet to come yet. It will be an honor, Mr. Naruhodo. And for the next 40 days, I shan't grant you a single minute of freedom. We shall fill every spare moment with study. Yes, that's exactly what I need. But before we begin, I have an earnest favor to ask of you, too. Goodness, what is it? Please, throw me to the ground. 3 times. What? I should never have doubted you. You are Kazuma-sama's closest friend. Of course you would never have done anything to hurt him. That should have been obvious to me from the start. But I allowed suspicion to get the better of me. And no matter how upset I was feeling, it was completely unforgivable behavior. No. You were in shock. You just found out about me stowing away and... No, I won't let you make excuses for me. Whatever the circumstances, I should never have thrown you. And not just once, but 5 times. That number just keeps creeping up, doesn't it? Please, you must. Just take hold of me and throw me. Do it. Don't even think about it. No. I don't even know how. I've never thrown anyone in my life. Very wise, Mr. Naruhodo. It isn't a skill one acquires without considerable training. Oh, Mr. Sholmes? I observed your throwing technique several times with great interest. I confess I was most impressed. When did he see that? I presume that would be a form of Japanese wrestling. Oh, well, in a way. It's not wrestling, but my own interpretation of an ancient jujitsu technique. Apparently it's called a Susato takedown. It leaves your head swimming, believe me. How beguiling. I am a practitioner of the combative arts myself. I am a somewhat accomplished boxer. There he goes, dancing around again. I wonder if you'd be so kind as to instruct me on the technique of your arresting throw. Yes, I'd be honored. Then let us not dally. Demonstrate, my dear madam. Oh, of course. Are you ready, Mr. Naruhodo? Sorry. Hiya! As you can see, you throw from the abdomen. Oh yes, arresting indeed. And that is what you termed a Susato takedown, is it? Actually, no. That was a Susato squash. In my groggy state of consciousness, a scene from an evening recently spent with Kazuma flickered into my mind. Oh, you were leaving right at the end, too. Well, bye-bye. I will see you, hopefully tomorrow. Karuma. That's right. Its the prized swords have been passed down through generations of the Asogi clan. I can't believe you managed to get permission to bring it with you. I mean, taking a katana on a study tour is more than a little regular, surely. You have your own start? You start at 11? Your time? Aye. Well, unfortunately, I won't be making it today, because like I said, I do have things to be doing. A Japanese man's sword is his soul, Ryunosuke. I can't be parted from my katana. Karuma guides me. I truly believe that. So its name compels its wielder to slice evil in two. Now, not that you need much compelling. On that subject, there's something very important I have to do in Great Britain, and I'll sacrifice anything to make it happen. I'd appreciate you seeing it through with me. Of course I will. Whatever it is, I'll see it through with you to the end. I knew you wouldn't let me down. That important thing he had to do. I still don't know what it was. But I'm going to see that place for myself and work it out. In Great Britain's capital, London. Oh, and there it is, the end of the chapter. Oh man, that should not, by any means, have taken 5 streams to do. Huh? Not at all, not at all, not at all. But with that being said, thank you all for tuning in. This has been Seek the Scuffed. I need to go take care of some things, so we're not going to be raiding tonight. And I am signing off. Goodbye. I hope I can see you all tomorrow.